is up, lads? Welcome back to the Give and Go and Lads Footy Show, a long-awaited collab. And how are you guys doing?
Dude, amazing. We're enjoying Vegas. We've been here for like a couple days, and dude, I mean, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. is our bedtime right now.
Yeah. Hey, that's the way to do it when it comes to the city of Vegas. As you can see, we changed our setup a bit. We have Hard Rock Casino, Hotel, blackjack table.
Match the theme. How long has this collab been in the works for, bro?
Dude, I noticed y'all's channel early on in our journey. We started we were just talking 2.5 years ago, long time ago. And I think from the get-go, I saw y'all's channel at the very beginning, just Lads Footy Show. I think y'all were like the channel that we kind of wanted to model ourselves after. So
yeah,
since then, 2 years ago,
these are like the first, I guess, influencers to even engage with us. I'm pretty sure.
So you guys are you guys are like pioneers.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
That's crazy. We engaged right away.
Yeah.
So you guys grew fast. You guys were. I remember you guys had 9,000 followers on Instagram. I remember. Now you guys are almost 200.
150.
I remember you guys were at 10.
All right, 150.
That's what's up. We're here, lads. It's been coming for the longest time, but we're gonna address a lot of the takes you guys brought us on Instagram on both channels, and we're gonna talk about the Selección Mexicana since the majority of us are Mexican, and we're also gonna talk about the U.S., get some debates, and European takes at the end as well, because we got a Liverpool fan, Atleti fan, Man U fan, can trash. Arsenal, Madrid, Arsenal. Crazy. So starting off.
Can I say something real quick though?
Go.
I just want to say, a little random, but I love y'all's logo.
Yeah?
It's great. It's fire, bro.
It's the Inter Milan inspiration.
Really? Yeah, I can definitely see it. The color scheme is great. Low key, I want to maybe rebrand our logo, man.
No, you guys is perfect.
Fire, bro.
I remember when we made our logo, he was like, bro, the Give and Goes is perfect.
Hey, we have a lot of similarities that we like between each other. Shit.
But shout out the guy in India that we paid $5
No way.
Fiverr.
On Fiverr? Is that what gave it?
Yeah, it was $5.
Y'all should, I don't know, there's a team in Argentina called Aldo Civi. I don't know if you've heard of him, but it looks, the color scheme is almost the exact same. It's just pretty. Y'all should, I don't know, maybe collab with them. It'd be so random, but it'd be cool, man. It'd be really cool.
But obviously, guys, if you guys are watching this on Lads Footy Show or on the Give and Go channel, make sure to subscribe to the Give and Go here and Lads Footy Show if you haven't already. The current state of the Selección Mexicana. In 2024, we just sacked Jaime Lozano. We got Javier Aguirre and Rafa Marquez in. I want to first ask Reynoso, your Copa America thoughts? What are your thoughts on the current state of Mexico right now? Where do you think we're at?
We're in a bad place, bro. We're in a bad place. We just got grouped at the Copa America and obviously got grouped at the World Cup as well. A continuation of how bad we were just 2 years ago. Nothing positive came from Copa America. And I thought that maybe we would get something even just slightly positive, given that we were playing at home basically in our second house here in the United States, and that we disappointed once again. So because the level is so low right now, because we've disappointed so badly, I feel like the only way to go from here is up.
Yeah,
which is why I'm actually somewhat optimistic about Javier Aguirre, because we talked about it on our podcast before. He's, in my opinion, a great hiring after what we've seen him do with Mallorca, kind of like a mid-table, lower table team in La Liga. Ultimately, he got the most that he could out of a crop of players that aren't that good to compete.
Played a Copa del Rey final, correct?
Yes, man, which is crazy. It's a huge accomplishment if you look at that Mallorca team. And so if he applies that same mindset over to the national team, then I just think he can get a little bit more out of the team than Jaime Lozano and Tata Martino got. So
I agree.
I think ultimately the talent isn't there, but Javier Aguirre will do the most to get all that juice out the team.
Exactly.
And so I'm a little optimistic.
You as a USA fan, we'll get to USA as well. You guys didn't have a good Copa America as well, but you as a USA fan, what do you think of Mexico right now,
bro? I agree. I think tactically, it's a great choice to get Aguirre back for the national team because of basically what Reynoso just said. Mallorca is a team that doesn't have a lot of talent. Mexico is a team that doesn't have a lot of talent. So I think that relationship, the experience that Aguirre already has, taking a mid-table team in Spain to a Copa del Rey final, hopefully he can take that same energy for the Mexican national team, because Mexico just got to get gritty now. You know, we don't have the players to play nice, pretty football anymore. So for Mexico, they just need a guy who can understand the game tactically. We got to get defensive. You got to get gritty. But can I say emotionally, I hate this. I hate this appointment, bro, because we met a fan last week and his whole take on the Aguirre and Rafa Marquez appointment basically mirrors mine. We're just going back to the old thing.
Yeah.
We're seeking help from the people that did it beforehand. And I just think it mirrors the state that the Mexican national team is at right now. We don't know what to do. Exactly. And so we're going back to what we think worked, what once worked. The idea that Rafa Marquez is going to take over after.
It's good.
I just think it's kind of weird. It's like, why are we going back to this? Obviously, he was amazing for Mexico when he was the player. I mean, he's one of the best Mexican players of all time. I just think it's giving energy of like, we need you. We need you to help us. And that's why I ultimately don't love the appointment of Aguirre and Marquez, because we're just going back to what once worked rather than trying to get innovative, rather than trying to get very creative, because Mexican football in general, I think, is in a weird state right now. And I just wish they would get a little bit more innovative, a little more risky with their appointments.
I kind of agree to an extent. Vasco Aguirre obviously is a former manager. I'm not really a fan of bringing back past managers, especially people who are continuing to get older. However, at the same time, I'm not really fully convinced that anyone else was even going to want the job. Let's be honest. If it wasn't Vasco Aguirre, who are we really going to bring in? You know, was it even going to be a Mexican? It probably wouldn't have.
Mexican that is worthy of being a selection manager.
I'm alright with it. I think Rafa Marquez, in my opinion, needed it more than the selección needed Rafa Marquez. I think this was more beneficial to him in terms of moving as a manager, because I don't think the selección is where he stops. I think eventually he can pick up a club. He can gain way more experience, especially in a hostile situation like the selección is in right now. And if him and Vasco Aguirre can really, you know, pull a couple strings together and revamp the selección as much needed, then I mean, maybe there's positive signs. I think it's more positive than negative, though, out of everything.
You don't think it's interesting that Marquez hasn't coached really a professional team, right? So I think I don't know if it's going to be a bad thing per se. I'm not going to go that far, but I just think it's interesting that he's ultimately very inexperienced when it comes to coaching.
Yeah, that's why they're throwing him as assistant first. But I think him personally, I don't like it. I think he should have stayed at Barca like 1 or 2 more years. Than being a right-hand guy for Javier Aguirre. I don't know. But what do you think?
I still don't know how I feel about this, because I still don't know what the squad would look like. I do know Vasco Aguirre is a defensive manager, though. I do know that he likes to play with the 5-3-back wing play systems. We had the Viejo, but the players Viejo had then to what we have now doesn't, work for us in terms of what Aguirre might bring. Now, I do like that we did bring a Mexican, but like he said, someone that already had in the past, 2 times already?
Twice.
This is the 3rd
World
time.
Cups.
He's getting older, and the game is innovating. We need to, keep up in dates with how modern the game is now. And what Mexico has been lacking over the past years is goal threat, goals, opportunities, chances created. We need a manager who can be offensively threatening. We brought in a defensive manager now. Aguirre, I don't know. How I think I got to see the roster and see how he's going to line up.
There you go.
I agree, but I don't know. I think our best attribute right now as a country is defense. We only conceded 1 goal in the Copa America, and it was off a
100%
penalty.
Yes, sir.
I agree with what he said. Like, I think Mallorca and the Selección Mexicana are like at the same level in terms of where Mallorca was or is in La Liga, and where Mexico is in terms of countries in the world. So I think it sits perfectly, but having him 3 times.
That's why I like it. But that's why I'm actually kind of optimistic, because if you look at the context that he was in the last 2 times he got hired, like, those Mexican teams were really fucking good. They were really, really good. And like, his goal was to not get out of the group stage or, like, do what he's doing now. His goal was to make it past the round of 16, go to El Quinto Partido, right? That was what he ultimately wasn't able to do. But that was the goal for the Mexican national team at the time. Now it's about just playing somewhat attractive football that we can all get behind, which I think is what he can give us at the very least, which is probably going to be a defensive game, but will ultimately get us more points in groups and at least playing somewhat more formidable football.
Now, I want to bring up the U.S. because I remember when you guys recorded with Deadball TV. Shout out Deadball TV.
Shout out.
I think you said before the Copa America started that USA was the team facing the most pressure, right? Yeah. And he said Argentina, right?
Yeah, he said
Uruguay.
I think Argentina because
he said Argentina because they were going for the back-to-back titles.
Yeah, I would have said USA as well because I mean they were hosting it. This somewhat golden generation. It was time for them to perform.
Exactly.
I was shocked they did not make it out of the group. I was
Tim Weah,
bro. What do you think right now?
Dude, honestly, obviously, we're looking for a manager. And kind of the idea that you want to see Aguirre, his whole scheme, the players that he calls up, how Mexico perform under his management. I need to see what this USA team looks like under whoever our new manager is going to be.
Who would you want, realistically?
I mean, I just want to be realistic with the choices that are given to us. Obviously, the clout rumors were crazy. Those were crazy. When I saw that on my feed, I was like, there's no way. There is absolutely no way he's coming here. But I think the one that's looking more realistic is apparently Mauricio Pochettino. Yeah. Which is crazy. We tried to get Hoffenheim's manager.
Yeah, was it the LAFC coach as well?
Yeah, LAFC coach as well, Chirondolo, yeah. But Matarazzo would have been really, really cool because he's actually American, but he was like basically raised in Europe and he got his coaching licenses there. And he's been coaching in the Bundesliga for several years now. That would have been a really cool appointment, I think. But now Pochettino, I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan of him. I just think he's always had really good players under his belt, and that's why he's had success as a coach. And we've seen what he's done, like at Chelsea, and that didn't really work out, man.
At PSG, at Chelsea,
exactly.
I didn't like, and we're saying he did well. What, 8 years ago?
Right. Yeah. That's I completely agree. Which is why if Pochettino really is our front runner to become the manager of the USA, I just need to see it. I'm not going to be positive. I'm not going to be negative about it. I just need to see what happens. A lot of the USA players right now are saying we need a manager who's aggressive, who will take risks. Because Berhalter, his biggest criticism was he just really didn't take that many risks. Like
he just wasn't that guy, to be honest.
He just wasn't that guy. Like he picked the right players, but then he failed to adapt. He couldn't adapt mid-tournament. He couldn't adapt in the group stage, try to pick different lineups when it clearly wasn't working in game 1 or game 2. So we just need a manager who can take risks. And I personally don't think Pochettino's that guy either. So that's why I'm like,
can we agree that the sake of both nations were cooked?
I was about to say that. Legit. Copa or North America.
Besides Canada.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, when was the last time Canada was better than the US and Mexico?
To me, ideally,
they had drones though.
Jesse Marsch should be the what?
They had drones.
Yeah. To me, ideally, I think Jesse Marsch would be like the perfect guy for the US. But he's just said that, if there's no changes in the federation, he would never go.
That is an appointment and a half that Canada did. Yeah. That props to them.
That was great.
It's crazy.
They had a good tournament.
Yeah,
it was very surprising.
That's what happens when you have a federation that actually cares about their sport or their team, at least.
Who do you think was more at fault for the U.S.? Was it Tim Weah? Was it Berhalter?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think it was? What frustrated you the most?
Weah. Yeah. You just can't do that in a game, man. I don't care how heated it gets. If you're going for a player's head area in general, the red's going to come out. Yeah. That's why I was just so frustrated. But yeah, I mean, the blame has to be on Berhalter too.
Yes, I was going to say.
He just didn't have his players in line. He didn't have them focused. He didn't have them ready for what, in my opinion, was one of the biggest, most high-pressure tournaments the USA has ever been a part of. And if you don't have your players in line for that, to beat Panama, knowing that you have a game against Uruguay that's going to be a must-win, like if you don't have your players in check, I got to put it on Berhalter as well.
Exactly. No, I completely agree. I think Mexico and the US right now are... You got to step it up because the next World Cup, dude, bro, if this cannot happen again, especially when there's more teams, and I think it will be easier to reach that fifth game.
The knockout.
Yeah. That cannot happen again. But now we're going to start getting to the Selección Mexicana. I want to ask Reynoso, besides you being Mexican, obviously, what made you become a Mexico fan? Like, was it a certain game? What was it?
A moment.
Oh, man.
Besides being born into it, obviously.
Yeah, because obviously I was born into it. I was born in the States, but my parents are from Guadalajara, Jalisco. And so Chivas fans, I went through the classic, like, your dad putting you on type shit. And that was huge for me because, I mean, who doesn't love that? And so that was a big part of it. But then, like, I don't know, the moment I kind of fell in love with the team, that's a good question. I think honestly might be in relation to another question I saw, which was like, what was your first Mexico memory? One of like the first memories I have, one of the first moments I remember feeling happy about Mexico was when we beat Iran 3-1 at the World Cup in 2006.
Yeah, I wish I was watching ball already.
Yeah, I was 11.
Yeah.
I was 11, but that was basically my first World Cup with consciousness, right?
It's the
like I was aware of shit. I don't remember 2002. And so seeing that result, and also because Bravo was on that team, Bravo Morales,
Chivas,
Sanchez, like they have so many Chivas players. I mean, that was like my that was like my mantle of worship there. So I loved it. And that's why I think I ultimately became a Mexico fan.
So you were able to see the 2006 World Cup. Do you think La Volpe has been the best Mexico manager in terms of World Cups or no? Because I've said Piojo, but I never got to see 2006.
Oh shit!
And there's a lot of coaches that like resemble La Volpe's play style in today's game.
Damn.
Those performances in Brazil were nuts.
Yeah. I think the Brazil energy was just unmatched. Unmatched. And I think La Volpe had an amazing team under his belt in 2006. We were ranked number 4 in FIFA's rankings, I think, going into that World Cup.
I think he
disappointed.
I didn't even know that.
I think he disappointed.
Wow. Damn.
And Piojo overachieved, but we almost didn't make it. So I think Piojo is right now the best. That's crazy. I never actually thought about it, but he has to be the best Mexican coach we've had in like the last 20 years.
It could have been Javier Aguirre if he didn't lose to the U.S. Because I think Javier Aguirre won. He tied to Italy and won the other 2 games, qualified as first place to the next, and we ended up.
That's true.
I'm so happy I wasn't born. I'm so happy I was still like a baby. That would have been the worst loss to ever experience against the U.S.
I still can't believe that happened. Mexico, USA in the World Cup was a thing that happened during our lifetime.
Yeah, that's insane.
Thank God I didn't watch it.
Never knew.
And the USA won too. I just can't believe it.
Why are you a U.S. fan? What made you fall in love with the U.S.?
Honestly, just being able to have a team to follow that I'm from, the country I'm from. Because I always saw Reynoso support Mexico. And I was like, dang, Mexico's cool, but I don't have a connection like that to Mexico.
How far do you guys go back?
I've known this guy since I was like 4 or 5 years old.
The cradle type shit.
Yeah, in the cradle.
That's dope.
Parents are my godparents.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
we get religious with it.
Yeah.
And then when I was like 14, I moved to a house that's like a mile from him in our hometown. So
Kick it every
forever.
day.
Play on the same team. He was a fullback behind me. I was a striker growing up. Ooh. And I remember he'd feed me down the line. Or I also played goalkeeper, and so he was defending.
Do you guys still play?
Crazy versatile, this guy, by the way. He was like the best goalkeeper on the team.
Tell him.
And then he could get creative in the midfield when we needed him. It's pretty crazy.
You guys still play?
I was a victim of the USA's pay-to-play system, I say.
You know? I mean, we all were, right? We all were. Or else we would have been starting over Tim Weah.
Exactly, dude.
But you guys still play?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I love to play. Yeah,
nice.
I love to play. Salts has a bad knee, though.
I got a bad knee. I haven't been able to play for a couple years, bro.
Always
I legit need to get surgery.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. It's like your dad.
I legitimately I need surgery.
That's bad.
So, which game do you think like made you? What's been your favorite U.S. game?
Yeah, so I was gonna say so. It was interesting because I would say for the first like 8 years of me just getting really into football, I honestly wasn't that big of a USA fan. I would just watch them because I wanted to be a fan.
Mm-hmm. You were forcing yourself.
I was like forcing myself. I was like, come on, like. I wish they were as good as Mexico at the time. I wish they were as good as Costa Rica at the time. And actually, I was a huge Costa Rica fan starting in 2011. And honestly, I was a bigger Costa Rica fan than I was a USA fan for like 6 years.
Yeah, you got adopted for a little bit.
Yeah, I got adopted.
Hey, I wouldn't blame you. Brian Ruiz was absolutely...
What's your ethnicity?
He was my favorite. He was my favorite player for like 5 years. Yeah. He was insane.
I swear, man,
balling at Fulham, bro. He was ridiculously good.
What's your ethnicity?
My parents are from Chihuahua, so Mexican.
Nice.
Oh, I'm from Chihuahua too.
Oh shit! Hey.
Why don't you go for Mexico? Do we need to know this right now?
I was basically raised white, man.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Like
happens.
I don't know Spanish. I can't speak it. I can understand it a little bit. But I can't speak it. And all of my friends were just white growing up. I went to a preschool when I was 3. I learned English like very young.
Makes sense.
And I just started reading, writing in English. I don't know Spanish. First language was English purely.
Growing up,
yeah, man. So I was just a little, just straight up disconnected from my Mexican heritage. Yeah,
makes sense.
I actually thought you were like Salvadorian or something.
Oh yeah,
dude, we've heard some crazy ones. Nicaraguan.
Well, I thought Costa Rica when you said that right now.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
I'm actually a huge fan of Salvadorian football, though. I went to El Salvador, caught a final there. It was FAS against Alianza, and then I was also a huge El Salvador fan just for funsies in the 2022 World Cup qualification, because the fact that they made it to the last stage was actually pretty dope for them. But yeah, they're not going to get anywhere near a World Cup.
We're done. We're done with El Salvador. No more El Salvador content.
What game made you fall in love with Mexico? Geeks?
Ooh, I'm trying to think really hard because I definitely was a late bloomer when it comes to the sport. I definitely wasn't paying more attention to it like I should have been. I really didn't know any of the players. I just knew Mexico was playing. I just knew Barca was playing, shit like that, right?
Yeah, man.
But I definitely think I'd probably say 2014 World Cup, the first match, the Cameroon. Yeah, winning that game with Reynoso Soltero's late minute winner. Oh man, I was ecstatic, bro. The football we were playing was great. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised we only beat them by 1. But I also
should have scored 2 more goals.
Yeah, I think we definitely could have.
Disallowed. Unfortunately, shouldn't have been.
Shout out Viejo Herrera for being the greatest manager the selección has ever touched.
Shout out.
The fact that he used more Liga MX players or was more based on a Liga MX squad.
Bench
also was very more vital to me. It also made me way more in touch with the Liga MX itself. So it's like that game really got me more into Mexican football, like as a whole.
Damn.
Yeah.
Didn't Gio scored in that game?
He scored twice and they were both ruled off.
They were both
and none of them were offside.
That's true.
So we should have won 3-0.
It was in the rain. I remember.
What if, bro? It's a big what if.
Was Samuel Eto'o involved somehow?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
That's right.
I remember also being like, damn, we should have won by more, but also that was the first game of the World Cup. And so that was a big, like, we need to get 3 points out of this. It's the weakest team. Like, that is pressure, even if it's a whack team at the end of the day. No disrespect to Cameroon. But it is what it is. We got the 3 points, and that was a big result that then gave us the momentum to go and play a good match.
I wonder how we do now in the groups that we had back then.
Fuck, we lose to Croatia.
Yeah, man, I was happy for a minute. Dude, what do you want to do?
I don't think we would have beat Croatia today.
And we already got skunked by Brazil by Hendrick. So,
I mean,
what's your game?
For me, Selección related, I'm going to go back to U17 World Cup.
Which one?
Final. Yeah, U17 versus Uruguay.
What year was that? Oh, that's
Azteca.
2-0. Yeah.
And why? Because I forgot the player. Remind me.
Giovanni Casillas.
With the head wrapped.
Oh, Momia Gomez.
Sí, la
against
Momia
Germany.
Gomez. Sí, the head wrap.
The
head wrap, bro.
Gotta look this up.
Yes, for sure. That was my first memory that I can remember. And then it kind of grew from there. And then the one that made me really click was the Giovanni Dos Santos goal versus USA. Copa. Especially because in the place where I was at a family friend's party and they had like a huge courtyard and they had the TV in the courtyard outside in the front yard. And everyone was just with the carne asada. We had a big water slide and then the goal scored. It was scored and everyone went fucking crazy.
It was in paradise.
It was crazy. And then I was just seeing like the commentators, the replay, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And from there it was just straight Selección and then obviously the Olympics and the World Cup and everything. So yeah. But the first starting point was a U17 World Cup and then the Gio goal for sure.
Mine, I've said it a couple times. This man right here, Giovanni Dos Santos, when he scored against the U.S. in 2009, not 2011.
Oh.
When we beat the U.S. like 5-0. And him and Carlos Vela scored that day. I think that's where it started everything for me. From when I saw Gio celebrate that goal, I was like, this is my team. This is my player. And since then, the rest is history, bro.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about that goal that you just mentioned, the Giovanni goal to win 4-2 in the Gold Cup. Like, I was thinking about it, man. Like, that goal, as a fan of the team, had everything you could ever ask for, bro. Like the commentary, the build-up, the fact that it was a comeback because we were down 2-0 early. 2-0. 2-0. It was at a packed Rose Bowl. It was, the momentum was crazy. And the commentary, I remember, it was
Pablo
Ramirez. And he says, apaga la luz y me voy.
Yeah.
And that, the way he said Hugo Sanchez was on the call too, at least on the broadcast I was watching, and they were losing their fucking minds. I couldn't believe it, dude. The scenes were ridiculous. And then the cherry on top was seeing Tim Howard fucking just
crawling.
That's like an anime, dude. Like watching like the villain die. It was the most amazing thing. We got Gera crying right now.
Yeah, literally.
But that goal had everything, man. And the ecstasy I felt was insane. So I never really talked about it on the pod, so I want to take this moment because I'm with actual Mexico fans, which is nice.
Would that be like
it's the first time
like that we've gone in depth in this goal? Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Most collabs we've done have been with USA folks also, like Eli Lesser, tactical manager.
True.
They're all USA guys.
Tack. I want to collab with him.
Is that your favorite goal? Like hands down?
Or up there, bro.
Mexico or just in
Mexico
general?
Or Selección, yeah. Selección.
Dude, emotionally, emotionally, I mean, what else was as lit as that? Let me think.
If we're talking emotionally, I think we gotta go Raul Gimenez taking us to the World Cup, man.
Panama, Chile
versus Panama, being down, almost losing to the Panama, which was never even heard of at the time, coming off the bench. Oh man, the scenes, bro, the scenes.
I'm trying to remember what goal I've celebrated like that.
Uribe against Brazil in 30 seconds, Olympics.
No, I think the one goal where I think I went fucking nuts was
Germany. I mean, Chucky.
That was crazy. That was a crazy
It was
one.
on grandma's house in Mexico.
On Father's Day.
What's the? Oh, I'm trying to remember the.
TV Azteca?
TV Azteca. Yeah, on TV Azteca. On TV Azteca. Yeah.
Damn.
Martinoli.
Martinoli.
That actually brings me, man, I miss those days when we just beat the US like every
time.
They felt so inferior to me, to be honest. And now every time we play the US, I'm always like, I'm never confident no more.
Y'all can't touch the US.
Bro,
not right now.
And it's annoying because the US, I see every US game. They only play good and to their potential against us. It pisses me off. Weston McKennie, Pulisic is good every game. McKennie goes full power against us. Tyler Adams. Man. Bro, when it's Mexico, it's like they grew up like pissed at us. Yep. And rightfully so. We own these guys.
It's a bitter riverry. You know, they never want to lose. You never want to lose against
and they know
a team
they can
like
beat
that.
us
Yeah,
too.
yeah. They know they're superior to us at this point.
We haven't won like 6 straight games.
Like
Mexico?
Since
against them?
Like so
6
many,
straight games, bro. We've seen one here in Vegas. We lost in extra time. Oh man, I was fucking devastated.
The most recent one was in our home turf in Dallas.
Yeah, we actually saw that one.
That was brutal.
The Nations League.
Yes.
Is that the one that
Gio Reyna?
No, Tyler Adams scored a
banger.
Oh my god.
That was banger.
We were live, no? We
were live.
Oh,
Santi got no minutes the whole like 2 games right there.
Yeah, we started on that guy. I'm gonna start getting pissed.
This guy hates Santi. He's very back and forth with him.
What I say is that he's just not the star for the selección. I don't think Santi Gimenez is going to be the guy that's going to make the difference in the selección. What I think he can be useful, he can be vital around the proper team, but I will wholeheartedly say that Edson Alvarez will forever be the Mexico's best player.
It's because it's more so like that because you see him in Feyenoord bag goals like crazy.
And you see him come to the selección and be absolutely useless, bro. Like, I get it. People love to say, oh man, he's playing with good players, but let's be real. Are Feyenoord players really that much better than the players that we have in the selección?
Yes.
I would say definitively yes.
To make a difference,
but I still agree, though.
To make a difference where like Santi completely just disappears, I don't agree with that.
Apart from that, it's all on the system and the
very
style
attacking,
of play.
very attacking,
and in a very attacking league as well. There's a lot of goals in that league going.
Yeah.
So
I also just think the pressure behind Santi needing to be the savior for Mexico is just too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much, man. That's why I prefer Martin in that position because I mean he does it.
No way, bro.
He does it week in, week out with Club America.
Thank you, bro.
I like you, bro. With the selección,
but he also has
the selección. He I'm not saying he gets to that level, but I just think he performs way better, more consistently than Gimenez.
I think he'd be more beneficial to the style of play that the selección plays. What
do you mean?
Instead of Henry
El Cansador? He just runs around for 65 minutes.
Build a play. Henry Martin wins every header that is put in front of him. Henry Martin loves to play a give and go. Henry Martin will drop back into midfield and pick up a ball. Santi Gimenez doesn't do that kind of shit. They're two very different midfielders, or very different forwards. But I think Henry Martin is way more beneficial.
This is what I'll say. I think I hate Martin not because I think he's not a good striker. I hate him more because of how much Santi Gimenez hasn't been playing because of him, like in the past, and him missing out on the World Cup and stuff like that.
Can't blame Henry Martin for that.
No, but that's why I feel like I have anger towards him because of that as well. But we've seen Martin with Mexico, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he does bring more to I guess Mexico's playstyle than Santi because he runs more. He makes he drops more for the ball. Santi is not really a good like dribbler.
I see Santi as if a pass isn't perfect, I'm probably not gonna bust my ass for it.
Yeah.
If the pass isn't right in front of me, I'm probably not.
Did you guys see a Mexico game? This Copa America?
No, we didn't. No, we did. We were live secluded as live stream. But I agree with you though, because ultimately with Santi Gimenez, this Copa America was really disappointing because you're right. He doesn't do all of that. But what he's supposed to do is, receive a long ball, bring it down, and just go one-on-one with the defender.
He did it once.
The one time he gets a play.
He had the chance.
The perfect play that literally fits his style of play.
That's why I'm
beating over the top, beating your man through pass. You're through on goal, bro.
As soon as he took that touch,
please put it in the net.
The whole stadium stood up.
Damn.
Was like, And
that's his moment.
Fucking blows
And he hit the ball terribly.
Yeah, he hit the ball.
I think, what was I going to say? I think what doesn't help him as well is having Antuna as one of your crossers. Like that, doesn't help.
It does not help
at all, bro.
And honestly, even Lozano at this point, it's just not helpful for Santi. Gimenez is great, but he's also not really a deliverer.
He's more a striker.
He's a striker. He's a penetrator.
Exactly.
So none of the players around Santi help him.
But that's all due to Jimmy though.
And thank God he's gone now. So
to Jimmy.
we're going to talk about
This
it.
is why ultimately the only reason I can't get on the Henry Martin train is because I still think for as poor as he's been, because he has.
Yes.
And I understand wanting to bench him and everything. I feel like we have to instill some trust, some faith in a 21-year-old that does have potential, right? This year was bad. Last year was bad as well. But he's going to be our striker for the next 10 years. So we have to give him that trust. Now, Henry Martin is already over 30 years old. He's near producer Rudd's age. No disrespect to producer Rudd. But there just isn't much there. And the timeline doesn't fit ultimately.
He's 31.
I'd be fine 31? Benching Santi if it's for another striker like the kid Dupuy or whatever.
Yeah,
he's,
I don't know. I haven't heard of him.
Below 25 years old.
What I will say though, Martin did deserve to be at the Copa America. Not a starter though.
I just
we took Memo Martinez. I mean, he's over 30. He's older than Martin, I believe.
No, Memo's 29.
Memo's a fever dream that he was there.
Honestly, he had decent appearances.
Bro, he had a better energy. He scored against Brazil.
He was better.
He had a better against Copa America than Santi did.
So you brought up Santi, a player I guess you're not rating right now. Who's a Mexico player from the past that at the moment you didn't appreciate him that much, but now that we have this terrible era of Mexico players, now you're like, man, I should have never criticized
Andres
him,
Guardado, I'm sorry for anything I ever said to you over the age of 30. Legit,
I think that
I miss you every day, bro. I miss you every day. You're Luis Chavez. Luis Chavez is dead, bro. And Chiquito Sanchez sucks, bro. Chai Rodriguez is so bad, bro. I miss my god tier midget midfielder.
Hey,
bro.
Not
I
even
miss him
we
every
could
day.
do many players in the midfield. Achache. That man right
that
there
might be one.
on that jersey, on that wall. Achache.
That might be one.
Achache, dude, was a complete midfielder.
Yeah.
Box to box.
Perfect
He was shooting left foot, right foot, set pieces, even without. And even the wild card in that midfield, when he was fit, sad that he didn't make the World Cup, Luis Montes. Chapito Montes was another hell of a player. But compared that to what we have now.
I think anybody in the midfield would be sufficed to be
anyone
honest.
in the
apart
midfield.
from Edson.
Are you
no DMs.
You guys rate Luis Chavez right now? He's good free kick taker, good set piece specialist, I guess.
He's all right.
I think he's good.
He's all right.
Something I've been saying for the past months, I think he starts like by default because we don't have
no one else is
beat
better.
midfielders no more.
There's no.
That's why I think you said Guardado, but
challenge.
I think that the main player we're not saying is Chicharito. Bro, this guy's our top scorer of all time.
Yeah.
And how dumb were we to ever criticize him,
I thought
bro?
Santi was generational. I thought he was going to change it.
Bro, Chicharito would make... Chicharito would score off any cross. Antuna could send him across to the wrong spot and Chicharito would still find it and score.
You know what it was, though? Los huevos, bro. He was a hustler. That guy would die to fucking get a ball in the back of the net, bro.
My go.
How dumb were we to ever criticize? Because I would criticize him a lot. I remember
everyone did. I think everyone did just because the guy couldn't dribble. He ran awkwardly. He didn't know which way to even run half the time. But man, if he was in front of the net, he'd get the ball. He'd get you a goal. He
has a whole highlight compilation reel of him just scoring the weirdest goals ever. You know, he shoots it to his face and it
backwards header. Shooting at your face, getting a bank shot.
Exactly. Who would you say?
Ricochet on his fucking lips.
The thing with Cheech, I do feel like he was appreciated though, and
you think
he was like I think
Cheech was way
bro. He was criticized a lot.
He was criticized, but like I still don't think as much as like Herrera. I remember Herrera got a lot of jokes thrown at him during his time because he would have moments where like he skies a long range shot and you know he's one of the ugliest Mexican players to ever live. So he also got that flag. Like, what are you defending him for? It's facts.
Pre-surgery, Ache was generational, bro. Ugly as he was, he was class, bro.
I underrated the hell out of Herrera.
Yeah.
I underrated him. Honestly, I wasn't a fan of him for the longest time because I just like more like aggressive, fast-paced football. And Herrera's the opposite of that.
Composed.
He slows it down. But I criticize him for that. And I realize Mexico need a guy like that who's so composed in the midfield.
Such a good ball-playing midfielder.
Yeah.
And we even saw the stints at with Atleti and Cholo ball. There was a couple passes of just like, God, this guy would turn the ball and slot a pass.
Exactly.
He's finishing as well as
damn, he's playing
He's a
fucking
great
30 something,
midfielder.
still playing at this level.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Achacha.
What's your favorite Mexico jersey of all time?
Oh, easy one for me. 2006 era was my favorite for like almost all jerseys. I love the Nike Total 90 when they had like the circular outline. Like it's so minimal, it's so simple, but I loved how it looked. Brazil's jerseys were really iconic during that time too. For me, Mexico 2006, my favorite jersey all time.
And for the US,
USA
why?
have the most
Look
bland
at the one behind you. That's
jerseys,
the
bro.
best. That's one of my
like
favorites,
all
to be
them?
honest.
The hoops, yeah.
I liked it.
The
Where's
hoops
all
are
the ones?
fun.
Yeah, I liked it. What would you say, USA?
I don't,
Popsicle one.
I don't have a the popsicle one is the one that's ingrained in my head, but just in general, man, I hate USA jerseys.
Yeah?
They're always just either white or just some version of red and blue. But for me, the designs are always just really lame, in my opinion, man.
Yeah.
Like, I never get hyped for a USA kit.
That's the only kid I've liked, to be honest.
I just never
But
get
that
hyped.
goes along with like I compare the USA kids to the England ones. They're always so
Yeah,
basic.
they're very
generic.
They're so
Very
basic.
generic.
and they're both Nike, same manufacturer, and they can never drop a heat.
It's just Adidas is clear, man.
Yeah, Adidas is
They
clear.
just always remind me of like training kits, like all the time. That's why I'm just
they
like,
don't look like proper.
Yeah, they don't look like
jerseys.
proper-
like
exactly.
the shirts, the kits that the team wears when they're getting down from the bus into the locker room in the stadium.
That's what it
yeah,
looks like.
exactly.
basic, bro.
So I'm just like,
Which one's your Mexico one? Definitely not this one. I hate this one.
It's kind of growing on me the more I look at it. But I mean, it's not the
Hot
worst one.
pink.
I think our style of football was shit. So it kind of gets like overshadowed. We weren't winning anything, so everyone was like, "Oh yeah, the kid is gross. Get rid of it." But I think it'll probably end up being probably 2014.
Yes, that's
probably
mine as well.
2014 World Cup.
The
jersey.
socks, bro.
The kit, the whole kit
whole
though, like
jersey.
all the way up and down. The red stripes on the socks.
combinations.
Yeah, everything just looked perfect. It was peak, like Selección Mexicana for me.
It was a center badge with the Adidas right above it, and then the lining
The
red
little,
and
like,
green,
the little stripes
the
around it,
stripes
yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah, that was my
Beautiful.
2014 World Cup.
I'd say this one, but all three of them, because they
That one's
dropped
fire.
That one's fire.
this one, and then there's a white one that we barely wore, and then what other color did
It
we
was
wear?
like white and red.
The
No?
green one,
A green one,
The green one,
yeah.
the green one.
Those three right there were a good combo.
That
What's the
classic
best,
greens.
What's the best emblem that we've had? And same goes for USA. Like,
sure.
which badge was the best?
OG,
that
for
one?
sure.
Definitely the best.
That's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since we got this one we've gone
downhill.
to shit.
Of course.
I kind of like this one.
Yeah?
though.
No, I don't.
I really do.
It's just the
growing
nostalgia.
on
I like
me.
the nostalgic on that one, and I like that USA badge a lot as well. I like that one a lot.
That's pretty cool.
That one is fire. I think this one just holds a lot of nostalgia to it, but I don't mind that
That
one.
badge
It
is
actually
very-
has it actually has grown on me a little bit. The kit, on the other hand, I absolutely despise.
I like them.
This one?
I like them.
Yeah.
I like both of them.
I think both of the kids.
No,
that
I
we
love
dropped
both
this
of
He
them.
year
hates
is not-
both the peacock.
I have both of those
Peacock
actually.
one too. I don't know what it is.
I also don't
it's-
like any of the new kits
it's
Mexico
not-
been dropping.
It's,
I like
I
them.
feel like
I like them.
we've really gone away from
Yep.
the green, white, red. We're
That's what
not.
I'm
We're not
saying,
we don't.
and it
we
started
don't fit
with
to the Selección
that one.
Mexicana anymore. It did start with this.
No,
one.
how much do you watch Liga MX or no?
I do. I mean, I don't. I'm not like a huge passionate
You tune
fan
in,
of
you
it,
tune
but I
in.
tune in
Yeah.
just because I
If you
just
ask
want to be
us-
tuned in on
Yeah.
all
If you ask
leagues.
us what's the best league in the world, we're gonna say
Liga
Liga
MX.
MX.
What would you say? Do you
Best
watch
league
Liga
in the
MX?
world?
Like, how much do you watch Liga MX?
I watch what needs to be watched.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna watch a Mazatlan Tijuana match like 2 p.m. or something. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna watch it so we can speak about it and at least know what we're talking about. So the closer it gets to Liga, the more I start watching
Oh,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
right now,
for
not
sure,
much
yeah.
though.
Which league do you guys prefer, like, consume the most?
Damn. I mean, ultimately for me, it doesn't end up being the Prem. Just entertainment wise, the colors, the teams, the players, the drama, I think is the best in the world. But I mean, what else? UCL. I mean, just the popular ones. Ultimately, what I consume the most for sure.
Yeah. I like to switch it up. So recently, it's been a lot of Prem, a lot, but I always try to get as varied as I can. So like this year, I want to watch more Bundesliga and Serie A, for example. So I'm gonna there was one year where I only watched La Liga.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch anything else. I just watched every La Liga game that I possibly could, and I just got really deep into it.
Alaves versus Granada.
No, seriously, brother, seriously. And I did the same thing like in 2017 where I just went all in on the Mexican league. I was like, I'm just gonna watch Liga MX just because I want to know every single player, every single team, and see their trajectories. So I try to watch as much as I can.
Yeah.
Just all
Especially
around.
right now, Atletico Madrid is stacked.
Atleti had one of the craziest.
It's funny because my dad mentioned right before I came, he's like, "Oye, Cholo está armando buen cuadro." I was like, "Yeah, you're dropping 80 million."
You guys posted, you guys posted a Gallagher clip today, right?
Yeah, today.
I liked it because I said like, just Gallagher's like the most Cholo player there is.
Oh yeah,
exactly,
bro. He's very Cholo.
He's gonna fit in perfect.
And I feel like he's gonna get put on the right, like the Llorente type of play style.
Even Julian Alvarez in his work rate defensively, bro, as a striker is still there. I mean, that's Cholo. They're gonna cover the most ground than more than any other team in the damn league. Keep maps red all over the place.
If they can perfect the formation with like everyone involved, especially with a two front with of Sorloth and Julian Alvarez, Atleti can be really scary this season. And if everything goes well, I think Conor Gallagher, De Paul can work as a double pivot.
Absolutely.
I guess we can see what Cholo has. There's a lot at his hand right now. He can even go one striker. Maybe play Julian Alvarez like center forward. He can play wing if he even needs to. He's done it before at Man City. Yeah. So I think best bet would be a two-man formation, a two-striker formation. But I mean, it's Cholo ball. I think he can play.
He's been playing that two-man formation for a while.
Do you think Joao's gonna stay? Joao Felix?
He shouldn't.
He is.
No,
he's gonna stay.
He shouldn't stay, but
he is.
Why do you think he shouldn't say?
Because he hates Atleti.
Yeah,
he hates the club. He doesn't want to be there. So like, even if he does end up staying, he's just not going to be happy. He's not going to give his best. We might use him because he is, at the end of the day, a really good technical footballer. He's fantastic off the dribble, but he doesn't want to be there. And because of that, I also don't want him to be there because I'd rather him be happy and give his best at a different club that he'd want to be.
Your mentality when you don't want to play, when you're at a club you don't want to be at, obviously it's just you can't play your best football. You can't play your best football.
How many more teams is this guy going to go to though?
That's
like
he's
checking every single ball.
Who's ridiculous, man?
The price tag, exactly.
Who's going to pay his wages?
120 M's? Yeah, that was crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah, who's going to pay his wages and who's going to even throw an offer for him? That's the thing.
There was Aston Villa was like a close yeah, but I think that fell through.
What's even his price tag right now? Like,
what would be the
40,
right
50,
price tag?
Like 50
for
million?
40.
I'd say 40 would be the right price tag.
They're going to take that 80 million loss.
It's a huge loss.
Crazy.
We spent so much on him, man. 120.
Where do you have, because I didn't ask you this, when we talked about the Atleti transfers, is what they've done enough for them to overtake Barca in the standings and in second? Because we're assuming Madrid.
I think so. I think Barca sit at the third best team right now. I think Barca have still not done anything near enough to even try to fight against Real Madrid
or Atleti now.
And our Atleti, because both of these teams have stacked up. Both these teams have done everything. Meanwhile, Barcelona continue in debt, and it doesn't seem like they are trying to fix the situation they're in. Yeah. Dani Olmo, I think, was a terrible signing. In terms of what they needed, they didn't need an extra midfielder sitting there. I don't think Dani Olmo will play right wing because Lamine Yamal is finally starting to break out, and I think he's going to play a consistent right winger this season. I don't even think Rafinha will be playing a lot.
You know, the thing for me is when Atleti and Barca come down and play against each other, I think Barca wins, and that's going to be the reason why they finish up.
I think Sorloth fucking scores 8 goals, to be honest.
He shagged you guys last year.
Yeah,
he did shag us last year, but
and like in that stadium you guys played in, I don't even know what it is called.
Hey, Barca's gonna move into the stadium in December, of around the time we'll be over there.
Oh, you guys finally gonna be back?
Yeah, late December.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Thank God. I cannot wait.
You think Atleti finishes over Barca?
No.
Still put Barca over?
I still gonna put Barca
Atleti
over.
Fan, by the way.
Realist?
Yeah.
Why is that?
And that's why it's so weird for me because I mean we've spent like 100 million or no, like 150 honestly.
Like 150.
Yeah, we've spent so much and it's super exciting, but it's a lot of change. And I don't doubt that Simeone will be able to get this team working at a very high level very quickly. But I look at Barcelona and bro, I mean they're stacked.
Yeah,
like
think so.
I do think so. Bro, like they have some.
Once you see
they're ballers. Like for example, Frankie De Jong, he's better than any midfielder we have. There. Oh, he's better than any midfielder.
No, I think he is. Yeah, he is. I think he's very overrated, but that is true.
Yeah.
He is better.
And then you consider Lamine Yamal, the tournament that he just had in the Euros, ridiculous.
Yeah, now we're talking.
He's better than any wide footballer we have, and that's tough. Robert Lewandowski, I do think he had a weird season last year.
Yeah, he did.
He's obviously not getting any younger, but he's a great striker to have. His experience is ridiculous.
He said Lewandowski's going to get Pichichi. over Mbappe, Vinicius.
And I actually believe that. I think he's going to go off this season because he understands the system a little bit better. It was for me, I thought the last season was just more getting used to La Liga. And I think he's fully got used to it because Lewandowski went off the last 3 months of La Liga. He went off.
Yeah, he was playing really well.
And I think he's going to continue that.
But that was because Barca was playing more attacking football. Because during the beginning of the season, Lewandowski was dropping so much deeper. Why? Because
Xavi ball wasn't offensive.
Yeah, Xavi ball wasn't offensive. And with Hansi Flick and at Bayern, he's always had that 10 feed him. Always had him that 10 feed him. Instead, he would be dropping like the 10, playing the balls into the wingers. Now with Olmo, I think Olmo gets into the starting position.
Olmo was insanely creative, bro.
Gavi back, who was injured basically all season.
Fermin
Lopez just had an incredible Olympics.
I think he'll be the most vital player.
So much depth. I think he'll be the most vital player.
Pedri, when he's healthy, man, he's
hopefully we get a healthy
so good.
Yeah, that's very. They have a lot happening within that I think will be different this upcoming year than what happened this past year. So I can understand that take ultimately.
No, this La Liga year is going to be very fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, don't on the Champions League. Like I see how they adapt in the league, in La Liga.
Yeah, I think more so La Liga is going to have a great Champions League outing this season. So like, I'm not expecting us to beat Barca or Madrid in La Liga, but I think we can have a really good run in the Champions League. So I'm really excited about that.
We got the league format now. I still don't know how it works.
No, honestly, I don't.
Gotta do another recap.
This is gonna be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's Madrid's all day long.
Yeah,
I think all day. Like
the reason I don't have any of the Madrid players winning PT or Mbappe with the likes of them, but it's because there's so many goals are going to be scored.
It's gonna be like 20 plus goals for each of them.
By all of them,
they're all going to have 15 goals each.
Exactly.
Right. So that's my take on why Lewandowski is going to be.
What's been the most heartbreaking loss? It could be from national team or club. What's been the most heartbreaking loss you've ever experienced?
I can start with mine immediately. Well, it's kind of recent.
Chivas
Tigres. Chivas Tigres. We're up 2-0 halftime.
At home.
Song playing at halftime.
Let me pay an image. So like 45 minutes, halftime goes in. Obviously we have our group chats and shit. You know, we love talking shit to each other. Obviously, America wasn't in there, so he's been running his mouth the past month.
Yeah, they're winning there because she get the lady dunked on him.
The past month, he's been running his mouth, you know. So I'm like, this is probably the greatest hate watch of my life so far. And I see Chivas are ahead, so it's obviously not going well. This guy's still running his mouth. He's relentlessly talking shit. He sends a picture of his jersey. And he's like, ya nos regalaron la final. And shit like that. He's straight running his mouth. At this point, I am like praying for Tigres to pull something out of their ass. And pues, obviously we know how that
I posted it on my story. My phone blew up when we lost. I was in Mexico. I had a lot of people, family from here in the States, in the city, just cooking me, Discord cooking me.
It was the greatest hate watch of all time.
Yeah, I never felt so more down.
I'm like 85% sure you missed the recording after that.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I was still in Mexico, but when I came back, I didn't come with you guys. I was low-key kind of pissed.
What would yours be, Reynoso?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a great shout because I'm a Chivas fan too. That was harsh. I agree. I don't want to go back to it. If we're looking at Mexico, I mean, I remember the biggest like weight that I felt where like after it ended, I had to go play outside soccer. I don't know if y'all do that because it's happened to us multiple times in the World Cup.
Yeah.
When we lose in the round of 16, I go out and I have to play for like 2 hours to just like let it all out.
Yeah.
The one that caused me the most frustration and anger was that game against the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that just killed me.
Ultimately.
It killed me. And a part of me is still missing because of what happened that day, bro.
Yeah.
It was one of the harshest things I've been through. The way it happened, the hope I had watching that game.
The way it happened more than anything.
It's the fact that we were there. We were tasting it already. Giovanni put
the Giogo had us on such a high, bro. Oh my god.
I couldn't believe it, dude. What a strike.
Yeah.
What a finish. We're up 1-0 against the Netherlands, a strong European team with Robin in the team and everything.
Yeah, at that point they were elite. They were elite team.
And we were beating them, bro. After the great group season we just had, we tied Brazil at home. Like we were feeling ourselves.
Yeah, we were feeling it.
And then the way they flipped it in those last 10 minutes and the way it happened with the Nora Penal situation, just heartbreaking.
We were still on the ropes. Like now that I've matured, I've realized like, bro, I think we're going to lose that game even if we went to
probably an extra time. Probably an extra time.
That is fair.
Yeah. But I would have preferred to have gone out in extra time than lose the way.
That's ultimately
what I'm getting at. The fact that we were there. That's why.
Who did Netherlands go on and play?
Costa Rica. I think
God.
I'm not saying because this is a good Costa Rica team. In 2014, that was a really nice team.
Yeah, it was
but
a good team.
I don't think that Viejo Herrera was gonna let us lose to Costa Rica.
Mexico should have been
I don't think he would.
semifinalists, bro.
Yeah.
And then
I definitely think we had the best chance to go or the
Then they had
farthest we
Argentina,
ever
right?
could have.
Netherlands.
And then
beat
Argentina, the revenge factor, and Argentina didn't have the greatest
No,
team.
they didn't either.
No, they had the greatest player though. That was prime. That was prime Messi.
Watch your
That was
fucking
prime
mouth.
Messi.
Now we want to beat Argentina in the final. What would you say?
Costa Rica would have beaten Mexico.
Yeah.
No way.
See, I can
It's 'cause
agree
they
with
can,
it though.
they
I
beat us
can
in
agree with it
qualifying,
because, like I said, that was a really good Costa Rica
team
team.
was
They
insane.
got out the group. They got out the hardest group out of the entire tournament.
They probably would have been licking their chops seeing that they were going to face off against Mexico.
No,
Instead of
honestly,
the Netherlands.
they would have been way more confident. I mean, they took the Netherlands to penalties.
penalties.
Penalties,
Yeah.
dude. That's so.
But even then, I still think it
crazy.
would have been
That would have been a
such a
good
great
game.
matchup
Would have
because
been
it's
a
just
good-
like CONCACAF teams. Like, you know,
Oh yeah.
ends up.
Oh yeah. That match
There is that big brother factor of like history. Does that get involved? Does
Would've been
Costa
a-
Rica just say fuck you and win that game outright? Like, I wish we could have.
I refuse to believe we would have lost to Costa Rica. though.
Yeah.
Nah,
I get it. I get it. 'Cause I get that same sentiment. But I'm just like, at the very least, I wanted to see it. Like, I wish we could have.
that would have been such a
CONCACAF quarterfinal
History right
in
there.
modern football would have been so dope.
People love to mention how like drastically VAR would have changed the sport if it wasn't a lot earlier.
Oh, bro.
Like the amount of goals that were like given, the amount of goals that weren't given, plays, handball, stuff like that.
How do you guys feel about VAR?
I love it.
Yeah.
I
you guys
love
for it?
It's great.
I am.
I think when it's
I
used
love
correctly, it's perfect. When
But
it's used correctly.
when it goes against your team, just like fucking hate VAR. Like,
To an extent, because it's like when VAR gets the right call, you just really can't say anything about it
You
because
can't.
it's
That's why I love it.
technology. It's meant to get the game to be like played out as best as it can be.
What's your heartbreaking loss?
My whole career of watching soccer is filled with heartbreak, man. Actually, the first time I ever like cried because of a game was actually the Costa Rica Netherlands game. I was convinced before the World Cup started that Costa Rica were going to go to the semifinals, and they got
You were just
so
that impressed by them?
close. Yeah, I've been watching them for a couple of years, and I was like, this team's insane, and they got so close, and I was like, damn, like it was like happy tears. I was like, I can't believe they actually made it this far.
Damn.
But probably the worst one probably is Atletico, the both Champions League finals.
Oh,
that one
that was so
killed
fun.
me, man.
shit.
Both times, 2014 to 2016.
Gareth
Which one was
Bale,
worse?
the goal was
Which
the
one
worst.
was worse
for sure.
to you?
2014 was
shootout?
worse because that
Sergio Ramos.
year I knew Atletico were going to go to the Champions League final. I just had this crazy feeling.
And they won the
And
league as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They
They
did
won
win
the
the
league
league.
against Barca. It was
That's a
crazy.
great team.
It was an insanely good team, and I knew that they were like.
I can't
gonna do
believe
something
Tata
crazy that
Martino
year.
they choked.
Yeah, it was
That's
Martino.
crazy. It was Martino.
That's the funny part.
That fraud.
But yeah,
really loved
that
his own
killed me,
style.
man.
That-
It hurt so bad.
That Atleti team with Felipe Luis, Miranda.
Mhm.
That defense.
Oh, that team was insane. Bro.
Miranda,
This is-
Turan,
Turan,
This is
Diego
one player
Costa.
who was on the bench.
Insanely
Christian
good.
Rodriguez, I think. Cebolla
Oh
Rodriguez.
yeah, the
Lefty.
Uruguayan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was-
dude.
But Viejo, you're
He's
a
crazy,
Real
man.
Madrid fan, right?
Yeah.
Can you name the starting 11 of that final?
Madrid?
Yeah.
I know Di Maria started.
Because I did it with him for Atletico and he got 11 out of 11.
Ooh,
Let's
could
see.
be
It was
cooked. About to
crazy,
get
bro.
cooked.
Let's see. 2014 final, not 2013. That's the tough part
Yeah,
here.
2014.
Real Madrid starting 11.
Casillas.
Correct.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I think, wait, hold up.
You
I
can take
think,
your time.
One
too.
out of 11.
I think Coentrao might have started.
Yes,
but
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Carvajal.
Yes, sir.
Ramos.
Correct.
Fuck Ramos.
Varane. Varane or Pepe.
Or Pepe.
Oh, shit. Varane or
Come
Pepe.
on, boy, come
He
on.
had an afro at this time. We'll go with Pepe. It's Varane, huh?
That's a next. It's Varane. I'll
Yeah.
give it to you, though. I'll give it
Okay,
to you.
no. That's
Khedira, Modric, Di Maria.
Yes.
And then it was Benzema, Ronaldo, Bale. Right?
And then
No.
you're missing one midfielder.
Khedira, Di Maria.
You got him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got him. You got him. You got him.
So
Who-
you
who- I
fucked
got
up
the
on
center back wrong, right?
yeah.
You got the center back kind of wrong.
Varane started?
It was
Nah, he
Varane
got it wrong.
started.
He got it
you
wrong.
got
He
it
got it
right.
wrong. He
I'll
got it
be
wrong.
I'd
nice to
say
you because
you
I want
got
to
it
show
right.
them.
But anyways.
but
Man,
That killed
fuck
me.
Atleti, bro. I'm sorry. I hate Atleti so much, bro.
I hate Madrid so much. And it's crazy because I have to talk about Real Madrid so much.
yeah, you have to.
And the thing is, I have to praise them so much.
Bro,
Let's talk about Arsenal. That's how I feel talking about Arsenal. I can't,
dude, yeah,
I can't
yeah.
stand how good they play right now. But I can't say that they suck because they're
can't
playing
'cause they
sick
don't.
right now.
You know
Yeah.
the crazy story about that game? I didn't see that Ramos header. I had already I was
Oh, no way.
I think I was like 10 years old. It was like the 85th minute. I went to go swim. I was like, we lost.
Yeah.
And then I remember I heard all the dads screaming. I'm like, fuck, we tied it. And I ran back. And then from there, I watched the rest of the game. We won.
Yeah.
I had accepted defeat by then already because we weren't doing anything. And Ronaldo was injured. Benzema was injured. Bale was knocked a little bit. I was like, I don't think we're going to win. And then Di Maria just had a master.
What about you? What was your...
Di Maria was insane. He was insane, that bro.
Well, one that actually legit made me cry was, I want to say, 2015, America versus Leon. No, 15 or 14.
Boselli?
Yeah.
When they did
the fucking the Vuelta on us, when they beat us in Ida and Vuelta. 13.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. Watching this newly promoted team absolutely embarrass us like that in both finals, home and away. I actually couldn't believe it. I was heartbroken. I didn't even want to like believe America was even a good team. That's why I was more distraught. Hey man,
when it's like 5 already, no?
That's why we're out the gutters, man. And we never were in the gutters, but I mean.
So if I do watch a team in Liga MX, it is Leon. And that 2013, 2014 Leon team, best team in Liga MX history. History, bro.
You're saying that confidently, or
confidently? I've been saying that since, and before it, that team was insane.
Like the greatest era.
But I'm not an America fan, so I can't.
I'm just being like the greatest team assembled that specific season. That team was ridiculously good.
That's extremely hot.
Represent the national level. Only didn't watch him back then.
Only 3 teams have ever won back-to-back titles since like the Apertura Clausura started. Yeah. It was Pumas, Leon, and then Atlas. Right, more recently, out of those 3 teams, Leon's the best one out of those.
Yeah, there's a new one. There's actually a new one on that list. And they actually did it.
Tigres never won back-to-back,
but they did it with the most points in a calendar year. They had the 2 players scoring the most goals in a calendar year. So I will have to disagree and say that.
You guys have El Gato Ortiz, the ref.
Si hay dinero, hay que gastarlo.
No, but I like you said that because, bro, William Yar, bro, Gallito Vázquez.
It's a hot take.
Peña,
I believe it.
Juli Peña was a baller that season. Luis Montes.
Britos.
Matias Britos was ridiculously good. Hernan Burbano. And then you get Franco Arizala off the bench. Ridiculous, bro.
You guys had the one Argentine center back. He played for Boca. I always forget his last name, but you also had Nacho Fernandez.
Is the guy who went like this?
No, I don't remember. That's Nacho Ignacio Ramiro Fernandez, something like that.
Yeah. See, I know there was a lot of really good teams, but I really respect that take because now that I'm really starting to look at it, they were stacked and they were freshly promoted. The fact that they came out and did what they did so fast.
What they did to you. Don't forget that.
My first Leon game was actually they were just getting promoted and they played against Mexico. It was weird. It was the Mexican national team, like maybe a U23 team or something like that.
I didn't even know that.
Or it was like a B team, and they played Leon. And
where'd you see that game?
I was just on TV, but I was like, "Oh, this team's really good."
I went to a Leon game, Leon Pumas. During that time.
So what's Leon Pumas?
Yeah, Leon Pumas.
That's fire.
My dad's from Michoacán, so like.
Por eso. Do you guys know the Liga MX team I support?
Yeah.
You're a
yeah, just think really shit. Like think
Yeah, really shit.
Think like one and done. Think like
it could have been Juarez.
Think
Chihuahua,
another border team.
Tijuana? Tijuana was good when they won it though.
We beat Leon in the semifinals when they was
Fidel Martinez.
Wow.
Javier Riascos, bro.
Riascos. Yeah, he was good.
We had this America always buys their players. That's why I fucking hate America, bro. But Reynoso, I see you have some questions there.
I'm looking at it. We can stay in Liga MX. We had a question from Melo. He says, would you guys consider Club Pachuca a grande in Liga MX?
No. Yeah. Yes, I did a video on this as well. No. You know,
damn. The Grandes stay the Grandes. There's no shot. I don't think.
Always.
Yeah, I don't think a Conca champion. I don't think one Conca champions can make that much of a difference when they're still so far. Boy, they're like below par. Everyone else considered a Grande.
They made a Club World Cup final too. I think. If I'm not.
Yeah, in 2010
they did.
They did in 2010.
I just think the amount of titles they've had since 2000, bro.
How many Grandes are in the Liga MX?
4.
Pumas, Cruz Azul, América, Chivas.
Ahí está.
Original.
Since 2000 way, Pachuca has like double.
Yeah,
Cruz
but
Azul.
same
If that's the case, then Tigres is the greatest team of all time because of what they did in 10 years.
Tigres have done so much shit since. But
I'll agree, bro. I did a video on this recently. I think they have the accolades. They always export players. All the managers they have and they still win. Like
before Pachuca, I would still put Toluca ahead of them.
Wait.
Tigres. Yeah, before Pachuca, I still put
Toluca over Pachuca?
And that's 2000?
Since
Hell no, cabrón.
10 titles.
They have way more titles.
10 titles.
Toluca has all-time leading goal scorer and Liga MX.
Right.
They got history.
Liga MX titles.
I think Toluca is bigger than
They won
Pachuca,
titles.
So, yeah, I can
The fan base.
I like
There's
that.
not a single game that the state of Toluca, La Bombonera, they call it Nemesio.
No, it's
I think that's top
scary
three.
Scary stadium in the league.
Top three
Scary
hardest
stadium in
stadiums
the
to
league.
play at in Liga MX.
Bro, top 3 fan bases as well.
Agreed.
Toluca, La Perra Brava, some shit like that.
Yeah.
To go to the Nemesio Des on a Sunday morning and go get points, bro. Nah, man.
After
Good luck,
church?
bro. Yeah.
Oh, bro, God.
Legit.
Do you guys
Good
agree
luck,
with
bro.
Pachuca?
I think they're
I don't know.
grande. I think they're
Bro,
grande.
they've been there. They've been there for the longest time.
I think they fucking
so
own
consistent.
America, but I mean, I don't think they be considered grandes.
Pachuca.
Pachuca, yeah. So we had to buy their best player because that's what we do.
So this is another question I got. This is in La Liga, but I actually really like it. Timo Godemi asks, which transfer will have a bigger impact on their club, Alvarez or Mbappe? But think in the sense of like
what they need.
just like
Impact.
like who's gonna like have a bigger impact? Of course, Mbappe. You know,
No, because
gonna
when
go
we
off,
speak,
but
because impact would be
Madrid
making
doesn't
a
need
difference
impact.
to what
Yeah.
Madrid would
Exactly.
win. I don't think Mbappe would make much of a difference if Madrid would win the league.
Yeah, how much more impact can you give on that team, bro?
So I think like hands down, like just due to the fact that Madrid are just that good, it would definitely just be Julian Alvarez.
What if Julian Alvarez won the Pichichi?
Be safe.
That'd be sick, bro.
awesome.
I like the
Insane.
reverse that he did, like the opposite of Kun Agüero, the Man City to
Yeah.
Atleti instead of Atleti.
He wants a hard.
I like it. I like the way it looks.
He wants a challenge.
Yeah,
He wins everything.
he wanted
That's-
game
that's a
time,
hell of a
bro.
challenge,
to like not play because of Haaland. Like I think it's kind of inevitable that you need to find your football somewhere else.
Yeah, hell of a
I don't
challenge.
think I saw a lot that like it had to do with the weather and stuff like that, and it could be true because I've heard the Manchester weather's pretty shitty over there. It's just kind
Is
of
it that
rainy.
bad, bro?
I heard it's just rainy and cloudy all the
hearing
time.
about
I think
that.
Di
I
Maria
like
had
that.
mentioned something why he left too. That it was just so like
Depressing.
sad all the time. Yeah, it was just such like ugly weather.
cloudy weather,
Yeah.
rainy days.
But I mean, I think it was way more to the fact that Atleti were definitely promising him full-time football, 80 to 90 minutes a game, regular starting. It has to be Julian.
Yeah, but it has to do with a lot of Argentine manager. He's going to be starting.
It's a very South
That's
American
who I
team.
think it was.
Good
This was perfect for his career because people were really starting to doubt the guy and think like, oh, he's just a trophy magnet. Like he just goes to teams and everyone like does everything for him. Nah, man, Julian Alvarez is a talented footballer, bro. And it was showcased the second he left River Plate. It was showcased at River Plate. The guy is a great footballer, and the world is finally going to get to start seeing that he's not just a trophy cabinet. He's a great striker.
Yeah, I love it too because going from River Plate to Manchester City, you think that's where you're just going to be for 8 years, making a lot of money, winning a lot of silverware, but exactly what
And
you
some
said is
people
why
are
I'm
cool
so
with that.
excited.
Some people are really
that's
cool
what I'm
with
saying.
that.
A
And
lot of
shit,
players
I'd
are
be
actually
cool
really
with
cool
that.
with that.
I'd be cool with that.
But for Alvarez to do the reverse, and that's exactly why I'm so hyped about this. Not even just for Atletico. If he went to just another team in La Liga, I would have been super supportive of it because I love seeing footballers challenge themselves.
There you go.
And this is a huge challenge.
If you're a Barca fan, I'm a Barca fan. I'm pretty upset because he was supposed to be the replacement to Lewandowski in the upcoming years.
Yeah, that
if
was
he
the
would have
perfect
stayed
Barca
at
player to be
Madrid,
honest.
at Man City for longer, he would have been their main guy. But now he left unexpectedly.
That was a perfect Barca player, to be honest.
It was unexpected, huh? It
very
was really out of the
unexpected.
blue. The Atleti made the offer and they said yes.
Now, a question I have for you guys: what would make you regain confidence in Mexico again? And then I'll ask you about the US as well.
It's a good question.
I mean, to be just kind of superficial, I mean, beating the USA.
That's a start.
That'd be a good start.
Yeah, that would be a
To
big
regain
step.
confidence from where I'm at right now to just get a little bit more confidence back, it would be beating the USA.
You know what? And we actually have a friendly against them in Mexico.
Guadalajara.
Well, that wouldn't do it. I
Hey, that's
like
a star because it's super. It's the most recent we can get because
When's that game?
In the fall, I think.
Really?
October in the fall.
Oh, that's gonna be.
It
fun.
depends on which players USA takes as well. If they take like a B team,
When you play USA, it's a must win. What happened when they came here and they played their B team? We lost.
we should have won though.
When was the last time the Selección Mexicana played the US in Mexico? It's been ages.
Azteca Carlos Vela 1-0.
Oh,
wait, no, Bradley scored.
Bradley scored.
The last time
couple
they played
years
was
back, no?
the 0-0. Where Reina dribbled past like 4 guys.
You're right, that wasn't
notable.
That was the last time I think.
Yeah.
Boring game. Damn.
Yeah.
Can we watch that at your house? It was fucking terrible. Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, I agree with bro. If we beat the US, I would be like, wow, I forgot what this felt like. God.
Nah, man, because the US are in the same I think they're in the same boat as us.
It's our all-time rivals.
Yeah, but we both suck. So it's like, is it really like?
Will
Is
be
it
better
really
than
like?
the
Oh
other.
yeah, we're not as sorry as you guys. You know, like I don't know.
What would make you regain confidence? What does this team need to do?
I want good football. I just want to, not even good football. I want a style of play, bro. Like Tata Martino didn't have a style of play. Chimi Lozano definitely didn't have a style of play.
Diego Coca definitely.
Diego Coca had no style of play. Like I miss being able to watch the selección and like see a sense of football there. You know, we really don't have anything anymore. We just throw shit on the field and try it. Like I'm for one, I'm sick of that. And I think the one plus of Vasco Aguirre is that he's an old head. He is one of those players that will not tolerate that type of shit. At least I hope so. So lineup change, you know, certain players don't need to be in the selección anymore. He has opened the doors for everybody again, which I also am super excited about. So I'm hoping he can pick the right formation and get some type of tactical awareness. We're so lost as a selección right now. So I think if we can finally get some style of play, I'd be somewhat comfortable to say, yeah, we can bring this to the World Cup. Yeah, we can take this to the next level. We can continue with this on. That's how
Does that have to be pretty though? Because I don't think it's gonna be pretty.
I don't think it has to be
11
pretty.
behind the ball.
I'm with that, man. If we're playing
start-
Cholo ball, bro, so be it, man. But at least it's a style of play. You know,
Start
Cholo ball gets you points.
As long as we don't start Martin, eh?
I wish we start Martin. If we start Martin, we probably won the World Cup. But I mean,
he started a World Cup. Fucking dreadful.
he scored, right?
It was dreadful. Anyone can score that goal.
Henry Martin did though. And did Santi do it?
Damn.
It wasn't even there. What do you think the US needs to do for you to say, all right, they'll have a good World Cup in 2026?
Dude, it's such a weird time because it was supposed to be Copa America going to the semis or going to the final. Like, we have the best players in CONCACAF, you know, just straight up being objective. We're dominating CONCACAF right now. We play Mexico or Canada right now. We play our best. We beat them. You know, 10 times out of 10. I do not doubt that. Wow. So we were supposed to show up against Uruguay, show up against Brazil, show up against Colombia in this Copa America, but we couldn't even get out of the group stage. Shit. So I'm just like, we're in a weird little limbo area where we play CONCACAF teams, we're going to win. So I don't even know what I want to see anymore because we don't have opportunity right now. Unless like the Gold Cup next year ends up being a big tournament where we invite a lot of big teams.
Which is looking
supposed to look like it's looking like that, right? Yeah, I've heard.
Then if that is the case and everyone sends their best teams and there's a couple South American teams, maybe a couple of really good Asian teams, then that would be the opportunity. It'd be Copa America round 2 basically.
Right.
And I would need to have the same expectations, go to a final, go to the semifinals, and at the very least, and if we play the big teams, show up, get good results, because right now the CONCACAF games we already showed that we dominate those.
You guys lost to Panama, but I mean,
it reminds me. It reminds me leading up to.
It was just kind of funny because that I was like really invested into it until like both these teams got knocked out. I watched Mexico get knocked out, and then like I was pretty depressed about it. I went and put $30 out of just hate on Uruguay. Just to like, I was like, please just make me money and knock these guys the fuck out. I was like, just make me somewhat tolerable the Copa America.
Max played 3 games.
I cashed out. I was cool, but I was still like, it was just like the Copa America was just so.
But low key, the games are so lit though. Like
they were,
the games were
like
so
those
lit.
Mexico games.
I wish there was extra time though. I don't know why there was no extra time. I wish they could have continued.
I wish there was extra time.
It's a weird rule for the Copa America that they do that.
It's such a different game when you get those extra 30 minutes to make a difference. You know, those substitutions, the tactics, what players are, you know, exhausted, what players aren't. I think it brings much more.
Max had 3 games, bro.
It's
they won the
official
first
match.
one.
You know, every official match has extra time in a competition like that.
Max had 3 games.
My fault.
Max had 3 games. The first one, they win Jamaica. None of us went to that game. Then they give Venezuela and LA. We lose. Go to Phoenix. We tie. I win his 2 games, bro. We didn't fucking score a single damn goal.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's the bad part.
But the vibes were at the peak.
They don't deserve it,
And
bro.
they don't.
They were at the peak. They were at the peak till like kickoff. Let's be real.
No, they were at the
After
peak. I mean,
kickoff, I was already fucking stressing out, man.
That penalty was one of the most high pressure penalties I've ever seen, man.
The stadium
was crazy.
fucking erupted, bro.
It was crazy.
The stadium erupted. Feeling it, we're just like, everything's just like kind of slowed down. We're just like, you see the popcorn fly, beer flying.
Who did you guys have taking the penalty?
I didn't mind Peralta at the time because he has his little step that he does in the process. He scored the goals before. I didn't mind it when he stepped up. But yeah, I was down for him.
He didn't do his natural run.
He didn't do the natural thing. He got nervous.
The lights were bright, bro.
Oh,
yeah,
the lights were bright.
He got scared, bro.
He normally like places them like with good power,
Honestly,
bro. He like rolled it.
I think Luis Romo should have just kept the ball. But I saw what he was doing. A lot of teams have picked this up where they pick up the ball, they let the guy, whoever has the ball, take the shit from the other teammates, from the goalkeepers, you know, get harassed and stuff like that from the fans. And then you go walk around, you give it to the player who's actually going to take the penalty. A lot of teams have picked that up recently. I've noticed that more and more. But I think Luis Romo should have taken it. He was our best player of the Copa America. I think the guy should have just fucking hit the ball because Luis Romo wasn't gonna place it. Luis Romo was gonna fucking rip that ball into the back of the net, bro. Even if the goalie would got a hand on it, it would have been just too powerful for him to even control it.
But I mean, the thing is, though, that was to tie the game against Venezuela.
That wasn't even to win.
And I'm more mad. Honestly, I'm not that mad, Peralta. I'm more mad at Gimenez for how he caused that penalty for Venezuela to get
that was
out of pure desperation. Pure desperation.
He didn't even need to do it.
Behind the defender. There's no way he's getting the ball. He gave the ref every reason to.
He had a defender in front of him as well.
He
so stupid.
He didn't think through.
And the worst part is that the player who he fouled wasn't even going for a shot. He was gonna make a pass.
They weren't gonna do anything. And so that to me pissed me off way more because it came out of nowhere and Quiñones just lost his head there. And Peralta missed, but we all would have missed.
Yeah, but I'm kind of glad it was an America
player. That pressure was crazy
because when that preseason game, I don't know who we played. There was like 5 Chivas players in the lineup, and we got completely
Uruguay 4-0.
Uruguay 4-0.
Oh yeah.
Everyone in the world was like, "Oh, Chivas players," just because you played Chivas players, and I was like, "All right, we'll see in the Copa America. We'll see in the Copa America."
We didn't get smacked any Copa America game.
Oh well, we
only conceded 1 goal.
Conceded, yeah. Who was called?
We put Chivas players lose 5-0.
We didn't though. So America players.
God, only Piojo though.
Okay, this isn't a question. I just need to. P.S. Dre says, "Hold it down, please. The lads are U.S. men's national team Barca haters. Is that true?
You guys, the lads are what again?
We're USA and Barca haters.
I'm definitely a US hater.
You're a Barca hater too. You've been talking shit.
I'm a Barca realist. I'm a Barca realist because these guys are too. Their egos are too inflated for the. There you go. That's what it is. These guys really think they're still elite in the football world. They're not.
Bro, that's why I hated that Spain won the Euros, bro.
You know what? Yeah, fuck it. I am a Barca and USA hater. Fuck it. If I really got, if I really got to agree with it, fuck it.
The Olympics. There was
the Olympics.
I think it is
7 La Masia players in that starting lineup.
I think it's fully deserved
Ridiculous.
to get the. I think they fully deserve all the hate they get because they're not as big as they claim to be anymore. I really think these players performing for their national team gives them the right to shit on other clubs. Like what? Like come on, man. That's not how it works, bro.
That's how they are.
Because they're playing for their national team. Like you're like, bro, half of them aren't. I guarantee you more than 80% of them aren't even Spanish. So it's like, why are you glazing Fermin Lopez playing for the Spanish team in the Olympics? Gotcha. Why are you glazing Lamine Yamal talking about winning the Euros? But you haven't done anything as a club. You guys are still. I honestly think Man United are.
But
not in terms of like
bigger
runner-ups.
United lad.
Facts. It's more in terms that Barca are still in debt. Barca are still looking to make a climb out of their hole, and I think Man United have slowly resurfaced more and more and more. And it has started since we knocked them out in the Europa League.
And
where has United gone since?
FA Cup champions.
That's it.
Yeah. What have you guys done?
That's it.
What have you guys done?
We won the league since. We won the league that year.
League?
We won La Liga the time we got knocked out to United.
Won the
Oh
league.
yeah, first. All right, that's it.
So FA Cup clear of La Liga?
Yeah, first.
No, I think
Madness.
whoever asked that, they're completely right. I despise Barca a lot.
Oh yeah, you have.
I think a tweet I saw during their Champions League campaign when this guy thought they were going to reach the final. Do not argue with the Barca fan when you could just wait. And I did. I didn't argue. I was like, bro, Mbappe's gonna
just be patient.
He's gonna be played better in Spain, and he scored a brace, and they got knocked out.
I had Barca in the final.
The Clásico final.
In the Champions League final, well, beating.
You predicted a Clásico
that was
final.
that-
I predicted a Clásico final, which it should have happened.
It could. Yeah, it
We
easily
got
could've.
completely cooked. By
Watching
Araujo.
Dembélé scoring both legs. Oh man, that was a great
Bro,
watch. You know what? I think I might be a Barca hater. Maybe just
That
a
would
red
have
card.
been.
You know,
And the worst
the funny part is
PSG goes and loses still. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're about to say. And
you
I
were
know
a Barca
what you're
fan
about-
as a kid.
I was a Messi fan.
No, you were a Barca fan. Calvin. On every
Messi
Clásico,
fan.
you would take.
I was a Messi fan, and Barca was the biggest team on the planet at some point. I will not deny that.
Barca
But
fan.
they are not where they used to be. They were not where they used to be at all, and they still claim like they are. I think that's where the hate goes.
How do you become a Man United fan?
I was a Man United fan because of Chicharito. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Where's the kid? You
Makes
put the kid
sense.
away? We had a Chicha man.
Wait, so hold on. Who's the bigger club then, in general?
Bigger club?
Barca or Manchester United?
Probably Barca. Yeah, they're definitely
Barca's
definitely the
history.
bigger club, quote unquote.
Man United's huge
I want
though,
them.
too.
No, they're massive. They're
one
massive
huge.
club.
They're-
But,
yeah,
I
they're
mean, I
global,
think
man.
I think when it comes to football, what do people know? Messi, Ronaldo, Barca, Madrid. Those are the first two. Those are the first names that come to mind. Anybody said.
We all three of us agree that Arsenal's finally going to win the league.
Oh,
Do you think?
shit.
Or do you guys think
That
Arsenal's
was
win
a
the league?
tough. That was a
Or
tough
no?
video. It was a tough video to make. To be honest, I was not okay with that.
You guys
I
agree or
couldn't
no?
deny it. I couldn't deny it.
Let that question be from us. So
Okay.
who will
winning
win
the league?
next year's
Yeah.
Premier League?
Do Man City? Are Man City going 5 times?
It'd be crazy if they did.
Oh my
Because this
I
is
don't think
ultimately
they can.
Pep's last year. He
Yeah.
either goes flexing his hand, manita, letting the world know that he won 5 Prems in a row. No, not in a row, right?
Yeah,
He's won 5 in a row.
He would.
in
He
a row,
would win if he
Five in a
wins.
row.
It'd be
It'd be
5 in a row.
5 in a row.
Jesus.
A row.
Or because it's his last season, Keeks was arguing that maybe it could be just like, oh, like
He said he's gonna finish third,
fall
man.
off.
He's gonna finish over them.
I have Man U actually finishing second,
fucking
and
ridiculous.
I just think that
Man,
Pep
this is
Guardiola's last season will just not go the way people expect it to. I think it'll just. I don't know. I really don't know what my
That's what I'm
thought
looking forward
sense
to
is
this
behind
year.
it.
Ooh,
But I really just don't. I really think that Pep Guardiola's goodbye is gonna go like Klopp's. It's just not gonna. They're just gonna underperform, and they won't reach the pinnacle of their of what their club is made for. Their squad, how incredibly stacked they are, continuing to stack themselves up, just making another ADMs off of Julian Alvarez. They're probably gonna spend that shit too.
Yeah.
But I don't think Pep Guardiola will leave as a champion.
I actually agree. I don't think he will either. I think City, their football has worked for a really, really long time, but I think they're getting a little tired. And not only that, I think their key players are also just getting older.
I think
too.
people are
De Bruyne?
finally starting to understand the level of Pep's craziness. I think people are finally starting to understand the style that he was producing and how to counter it.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like De Bruyne, I thought was a huge factor as to why Manchester City could always beat anybody. But I do think De Bruyne
looks
is
old.
getting
We saw it
older,
in
man.
the Euros.
Saw it in the
And
Euros, yeah.
right now, I think City are going to enter a transitionary period where they have to find that next big midfield star or that next big winger to show
Saw
up.
it today.
Oh man, if we're talking wingers, it's Oscar Bob, bro. I watched him. I watched him play today in the Community Shield. Oh my goodness, bro. I heard about him already. I had peeped a bit of his ability, but oh my goodness, bro. Watching a full game of this kid, he is extremely talented. Like he's really, really
I need to
good.
tune in. I need to
He's
tune in.
so fast on the ball, bro. There's not a single player who could tackle him. He's running through 2-3 guys at a time and then making a good pass, making a good switch,
It's like Sonic.
getting a shot
He's
off.
like Sonic 2019.
He is
Yeah.
very, very dangerous.
He's winning the
for
Prem.
sure.
I got City winning.
Again?
I got City winning.
It's
It's low
valid
key.
though,
Y'all
yeah.
being a little disrespectful.
No, it's
Y'all being a little
valid.
disrespectful.
It's not.
4-time.
I have them
Premier League winning
contending for
side.
sure.
That's not enough. That's not enough, man. Because this team hasn't lost enough players for me to think otherwise. It's City until it isn't in my mind. 4 years straight is crazy. But these guys, they know the routine now. They know what they got to do every single week. They know what they got to eat. They know the mentality they got to have because they've won this trophy time and time again. They get Savinho back in, and De Bruyne, yes, he is a little older, but they get him healthy this time. He was unhealthy to start most of the season. Who
He
stepped
was
up in his
still
place?
producing.
Who stepped up in his place?
Yeah.
Manchester City Player of the Year stepped up in his place, Phil Foden, who sure was awful in international tournaments, but at the club level,
what a season!
At the club level, I trust that man fully, and he's only getting better. He's getting older as well. He's entering his prime. I think that's going to be amazing. Savio coming into the team, I think is going to be a nice little inclusion into the wings. Holland is going to do Holland things. Bro, I see this team winning the Prem once again. Where I do agree with you guys is I do see them maybe contending less in the Champions League. I think that's where we're going to see a little bit less of an impact where last year they took Real Madrid to penalties in that quarterfinal game. But
no one's taking us to penalties, bro.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No one's taking us because no one's taking Madrid to penalties.
They lost Julian and they just haven't done enough. They haven't gotten more players to come in to really convince me otherwise. So I'm going City. See,
now I really want to flip it to you guys because you guys at this point are rest assured that this is your guys' season to lose. This is your guys' Prem to lose.
It is to lose, to be honest.
If Arteta doesn't do it again, is our questions raised?
No, fuck no.
Because he's not going to lose the league by.
But what if there's nothing won? Points. What if there's nothing won again?
Yeah, go again. It depends how we lose. If we finish second, 4 points behind again, then we're like, all right, gotta go again.
One more tie. Fuck it, yeah.
Bro, we can't find no one better than Arteta.
Technically, this is going to be third time's charms because we lost the league twice.
Fourth season, no?
Yeah, but first season we weren't close to winning.
Who has Arsenal gotten in the transfer window?
Calafiori, Merino. Today there was
to confirm it, they need a 9.
Yes.
There's that Gabriel Jesus is not that guy. They need a 9. They need a forward, a elite goal scorer.
Mikel Merino and then Calafiori. I do like Calafiori.
The thing with
why do you like Calafiori?
Merino's insane.
I think that's why everyone likes I legit didn't watch him play. I didn't watch him play football to the Euros. Let's be real. I didn't know what guy was.
He's got aura, man.
Why I believe Arsenal can win the league is because again I expect them to finish the league with the most clean sheets, least goals conceded once again. I think Arteta has the defense down, midfield down. Yeah. The only thing is having that striker to put all these chances away in. We know Havertz can play striker, but can he play striker for 38 games consistently? That's the only
14
thing.
Goals, I think.
14 goals. He didn't do so bad. I expected him to
it wasn't enough.
I expected him to do worse. Yeah. But I want actual striker like a Fulkrug, Gyökeres, Osimhen,
I think you guys won the race for Gyökeres. What's going on with that?
I don't know. I don't know. I think he might stay.
What about Vlahovic? He hasn't made any no
injuries.
And the thing is that in this market, this year at least, there's been so many strikers who have been purchased by other clubs. The Girona striker, Julian Alvarez, big, that's another guy. So Arsenal, I don't know.
Where's he at? Roma, no?
Yeah. Who'd you say? Is he won the league?
I can't decide between Arsenal or Liverpool because I do think Liverpool.
I got Liverpool going.
If they're healthy, Arne Slot.
Fucking mouth.
It was an accident.
Man,
it rolled off my tongue.
But I just think they're stacked, man.
Yeah. I said this year I feel like a three-headed race.
But I like your take on Arsenal that third time's the charm because they've proven to themselves that they can compete with Manchester City fully, especially last season.
It's literally a couple games that they get it wrong. That's it. And it's just a couple, a handful of decisions that they
And I think they're so driven knowing that, we're right there.
Yeah.
They're getting new signings. Timber's back healthy, which I think that's basically a new signing and he's going to be a beast at the back. So I think, and as you said too, Arteta's the guy. He's having Arsenal play insanely beautiful, sexy football, man. So I like that take. Third time's the charm. I like Arsenal winning the Prem this season.
If there's a time to do it, it's now. It is now. There you go. Because Man City was insane these past 2 seasons, but don't sleep on Liverpool because they haven't made that many signs. We might get Zubimendi. Yeah, that might be nice, but everyone's getting regenerated. Right? That's what's going on for us.
Liverpool's attacking depth is
there's so many players.
It's crazy, man.
Luis Diaz had a good
Cody Gakpo was a player that I'm looking for because what he did in the summer for Netherlands put that into the Liverpool team with Salah,
which is crazy because he still won't start, bro. He doesn't start over Lucho Diaz.
I wonder if Arne Slot,
I think in certain competitions, I think the depth that's where it really plays. I think they'll play several positions, but I think for sure the number one is Lucho Diaz. I know he's too good, bro. He's too good.
I would play it like this. I would play Gakpo, start him, and then what more do you ask for when you bring Lucho Diaz as a sub?
He's too good.
I think Gakpo would be more impactful as a substitute.
I don't. I think the extra pace.
Yeah.
For tired right back.
It's crazy. You're gonna bench one of those guys.
Benching one of those guys.
Darwin for sure start.
I was about to say. I think at this point it's also like a third time's a charm season for Darwin Nunez. I think this guy has to start getting these he does get goals. What is it, like 15, 20 goals throughout all comps? You know, it's not bad at all.
bad.
But I think he is ready to take that next step into competing for golden boots.
He has to.
Yeah,
That's
he
the
has
thing.
to. Because it came when he joined. The debate was Haaland versus Nunez, and that shit got shut down immediately, bro. It got shut down immediately.
But look,
I like
still have Diogo
he's gonna
Jota
play
as
better
well.
this year. Guys, I talked to him. Trust me, I've been defending him. You know this very well.
I do.
I think this is the year, though. This is the year that we.
Darwin's my guy, man.
I'll fully be out on him if he does another 15, 20 goal season. I need to see more. I need to see him put up some numbers. I think this is the year.
I like
He's
Darwin.
so overrated.
Here we go.
Exactly, bro.
Oh yeah.
Both of you guys are on board.
Yeah, it was crazy.
He gets so many jokes
I
thrown
think
at him.
finally the last 6 months of the Prem, people started to catch on that he's not that good.
He's not.
And people are like, oh, this is Darwin now. This is who he is. He's actually not elite.
Post magnet, bro. Like the guy is extremely
Post magnet or missed by like a margin, literally.
He just misses too
No,
much.
I think the Gakpo one was my favorite when he hit the fucking ball at the post and landed right in front of Gakpo, and he's like,
The guy doesn't know how to strike the ball properly.
He doesn't.
I've
Give
noticed.
me
It's
goal
a
amount.
bad
Give me
habit
goal
he
amount in the
has.
Prem to have him not be considered overrated. What's the goal? What's the goal number?
oh, in the Premier League,
in the Prem only. What number does he have to hit?
I think 15 is fine.
15.
I think he did it last season.
I think that's
15 is
achievable.
fine.
That's very achievable. But for me to consider Nunez a great striker, he has to score over 20.
Yeah.
He has
Salah
to.
numbers.
Yeah, Salah numbers.
I can give you 20.
And Nunez just not. He's just not getting there.
maybe
I
18?
could see pushing 20.
I was about to say, I
he
think
has to do
Salah.
it this
I
year.
think Salah won't be the 20 goal guy this season.
No, I don't think so.
think he's definitely slowed down a little bit.
No.
He's changing his style of play to not be as, I guess, deep into the line. He looks way more of a midfielder now.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah,
for the preseason. At least for the preseason.
For sure.
I don't know what the buzz cut got him thinking. But, I mean, shit, who knows? He
transplant.
could end up just doing another 20 goals. The guy does it regularly.
looks fit still.
It gets unseen. It gets unseen because he's consistently bagging 20 goals a Premier League season.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah, about Darwin though, I've noticed like the guy he doesn't know how to strike a ball sometimes. Like his placement, his foot on the ball, sometimes it's like, no wonder you're missing all the time. You
I
just
love
blast
Darwin.
it instead of placing it.
I love
too much
I love
power.
strikers
He's a
like
wacky
that.
player.
Yeah, I love strikers like that. They just try to
He's
rip
goofy
it.
though. I like it. Yeah,
I like how
like
freaking
it.
physical and fast he is. So that's
I
why
like that part, but
he's pretty handsome. So
All right.
I sobered up though. This is crazy. Like, talking about
you guys
football
haven't eaten
sobered
though,
me
bro.
up,
You guys are
man.
crazy.
It's
I'm hungry,
crazy.
dude. I'm fine.
This is from
the worst
777
feeling.
Leonardo. What can the Mexican Federation do to make a powerhouse in the long run? Mexico and USA.
To do a
The
powerhouse.
Federation. We're talking about the higher ups, so we can
bring
make
back
that change.
bring back relegation and promotion. That's
to
the main one.
to the league. To the league. Bring
That's
back
it.
that fight.
That'd be big.
That's the main change I see.
Develop talent better, young talent, export them when they're good, when they're able to go to Europe. Don't keep them in Liga MX for too long.
Chiquete.
Just, I don't know. For me, it's at the youth level.
Everything is so money ridden in the leagues right now. It's just really it's not beneficial to anybody but the higher ups.
But the higher
This
ups.
is what happens when
None of the players get the experience they need. None of the staff get the development. None of these teams get to fight for promotion because they don't make enough money out of ticket sales and shit like that. Like, come on, that sucks. That really sucks. Which is understandable to a level. Like the Premier League, you do need a certain amount of seats to be sold, or like capacity. Stuff like that is understandable. But like when you're just completely shutting down promotion and relegation because they don't make more money than the other teams, then I mean, what are you really gonna do? When you're begging for 15 million for a 5 million 21-year-old, what are we gonna do? You know, like everyone.
I mean, that only
it's just
applies
so
to Chivas,
greedy.
but-
It's just so greedy.
You know,
at this
Chiquito
point.
Sanchez was the same price as Tony Cruz.
Holy shit! You're dead ass.
At some point, yeah. Based on the price Mexico would put on Chiquito Sanchez, or like
That's
Pachuca at the time.
That's the
Crazy.
problem though with Mexico
That's
is
crazy.
they see themselves as like a top 5 league in the world. So instead of having their youth players at every club with the mind of y'all need to go to Europe, they're honestly just like, stay in Mexico.
I
It
think that's
doesn't
our
matter.
fault,
We'll
Lopes.
pay you a lot of money to stay. Whereas the USA, if you're an academy player and you're like 14, 15, 16, you're already talking to European teams. And it just doesn't happen in Mexico because they're just like, oh, you're a Pachuca product? Stay here. You'll go get bought by America if you're good enough. And that's a bad mindset, in my opinion.
And even the players that do make the trip out, like Gerardo Arteaga, he was in Belgium. He came back. Rubalcaba from Pumas, he was in Belgium.
Jorge Sanchez, he came back.
He was in Europe. He came back. Linus, he was in Europe. He came back. The list goes on. And that is kind of like, so like the excuse with Gerardo Arteaga is like he kind of didn't enjoy life in Belgium and like his lifestyle wasn't there. So
really?
For that case, he
be
came
back home.
He came back. So
Dang.
because you weren't comfortable with the comfort zone that you were in, you decided to make that return back. And that's very common. Even with Alexis Vega, I think he had that one interview where he had the offers out there and he decided to stay.
Not going to Europe, dog. Come on.
I'm just saying. I'm saying what he said.
He honestly should have gone to just go to a mid-tier league and
could have gone to Benfica
and see if you can do something.
He could have gone anywhere else, but he was like so like set on, oh yeah, I'm playing Champions League or I'm not going.
He's getting paid.
I think Alexis Vega. I think he was also at fault for the fact that he didn't make any moves because this guy was getting. I'm sure he probably have gotten a couple offers in Europe because at the level he was playing really well.
He was. Yeah.
There's some USA players that have that problem too. So some USA players are conformed staying in the MLS as well. I heard an interview about. What's his name? Jordan Morris, the Sounder striker.
Morris.
He could have gone to the Bundesliga, but he wanted to stay because of his dog.
Yes.
He didn't want to leave his dog or something like that. I was like,
that's nuts.
When I heard that, I was like, okay, yeah, this confirms I'm not a Morris fan, bro. I already wasn't, but I was like, I'm good on him now.
Has
for
he
sure.
been at Sounders like his whole life?
Bro, I hated him. When he was scoring against Mexico a couple times, I hated that guy, bro.
No, you know who I hated? Bobby Wood.
Bobby Wood.
Fucking hate
Wood was a baller, man.
Jesus, man.
Bobby was a baller.
That guy's like most punchable fucking face in the United States jersey.
Shout out Bobby Wood.
Legit,
Bobby was a good
I think to end the episode, I wanted to ask you about, do you keep up with like Cavan Sullivan, the 14-year-old?
Honestly, I've just seen like the TikToks and the YouTube highlights of him making that first appeance for Philly.
You think the MLS is like forcing it too much on the kid?
Oh, we were in his presence the other day.
Yeah, where they're like making him like the new Freddie Adu.
But that's the thing is, I think if you're that young, any league should highlight you.
He's already signed to Man
I think
City.
it's just an inevitability because he's 14.
Yeah, he's 14.
And the first team squad for Philadelphia Union, honestly, one of the better teams in the MLS over the last 5 years. That's right. You should just be hyping this guy up. And I know it could be bad for pressure purposes, but if he really does succeed, he was talking about how the idea that like we could see a veteran Pulisic and then, a 19-year-old Cavan Sullivan playing on the same team in a World Cup, and that'd be sick.
Left wing. Who's his right wing?
Exactly.
Sullivan.
So I just say like, hype it up even more because if he fulfills those expectations, he's going to be an absolute baller.
Already signed to Man City.
Next striker. That's one thing.
Striker?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm still giving full just everything I have to Balogun. I know he had a really bad season at Monaco this last year, but he's so dynamic. He's so athletic. Mm-hmm. If he can just be more consistent in front of goal like he was at Stade de Reims, I think he can be one of the best strikers in the Americas, right? Because I think he has that potential, but whether he actually reaches that, I'm not going to be too hyped on it, but I'm all in on Balogun. I just like what he could bring.
Who's better?
More goals than Santi in the Copa America, by the way.
Sorry. You think Balogun's better than Santi?
I do, yeah. Even though Santi scores more at Feyenoord, I just think Balogun's a better player. I think he's a stronger striker.
I gotta see what Balogun does this year.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be really keen on him this year.
McDonald's? I think that's
Uber Eats?
Uber Eats. No, it's McDonald's.
McDonald's this year?
McDonald's.
That's a crazy sponsorship.
Mbappe left. They needed to make some fucking money somewhere else, man.
For real.
I think was that it, boys?
That's it.
All right. Shout out to Give and Go coming out here to Vegas to film with us.
Let's go.
Hopefully the video bangs. Got some clips going out.
Fun, man.
But yeah, stay tuned, guys. If you're watching on either channel, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like. Any last words?
Oh, just thanks for having us, man. This was a lot of fun. Y'all should come to Austin.
Yeah, I think that's
do the same thing. This would be a lot of fun.
This was a great experience. This was fun as fuck.
And I mentioned that. Well, I didn't say it on camera, but you guys are 21. We're 28. Like, I wish we would have started a podcast at the time that you guys are at right now. So, like, please keep going. Do not stop. 8 years of Lads Footy Show, new badge. We'll probably be in 5 years from now. Like, I think you guys have done a really good job and like are a big part of the football community. So,
likewise, bro. Likewise, big inspirations. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace, boys.